Voice of Korea.
This is Voice of Korea.
This is Voice of Korea.
This is Voice of Korea.
Language transmission from Pyongyang, the capital of the Democratic People's Republic of Korea.
We not be cinemas to chorus. Song of General Jong-il. Paris Mail covers Song of General Kim Jong-il. Respected Marshal Kim Jong-un appreciated the finals of men's football of the Mangyongdae Paris Sports Games and met the sports persons who won gold medals in the recent international games. The finals between the Reminiscences team and the Amnokan team of the premier men's football of the games were held at the Kim Il-sung Stadium on April the 29th. The moment respected Marshal Kim Jong-un together with Ri Sol-ju came out to the grandstand. The spectators raised stormy cheers of hurrah, representing their infinite reverence for him. Also watching the game were Chair Jong-il, Chang Song-taek, and other senior officials of the party and army, members of the State Fiscal, Culture and Sports Guidance Commission, officials of the party and armed forces institutions, ministries, national agencies, and sports institutions, sportspersons, amateurs, and working people of different sections in Pyongyang. The footballers of the Reminiscences team won 2 goals in the first half with a smart heading and strong kick. In the second half, the footballers of the Amnokan team made goaling opportunities with high-level ball handling and active attack, making good use of their merits. In the end, the Reminiscences team defeated the Amnokan team 2-1. The spectators enthusiastically encouraged the footballers of the 2 teams with warm applause, who applied our tactics of games and displayed collectivist spirit and noble virtues in the game. After the game was over, those present raised enthusiastic cheers again, and Marshal Kim Jong-un warmly waved his hand to them. He expressed great satisfaction over the high-level game of the footballers of the 2 teams and congratulated them on their success in the game. That day, Marshal Kim Jong-un met sportspersons who won gold medals in the recent international games, Coach Kim Il-sung, and leading sports officials. Present there were Park Bong-ju, Chair Jong-il, and the senior officials of the party, state and army, and members of the State Fiscal, Culture and Sports Guidance Commission. Respected Marshal Kim Jong-un shook hands with each of the excited medalists, coach and leading sports officials, and highly praised them for having proved successful in the recent international games and given conviction of victory and optimism to our army and people who are energetically promoting the building of a prosperous socialist nation despite the vicious sanctions and pressure of the enemy. Marshal Kim Jong-un expressed the belief that the sportspersons and coaches would shed more sweat in training and thus consolidate the recently achieved successes and in the future more powerfully demonstrate the honor of the country with gold medals in the international games. Respected Marshal Kim Jong-un, First Secretary of the Workers' Party of Korea, First Chairman of the National Defense Commission of the Democratic People's Republic of Korea, and Supreme Commander of the Korean People's Army, together with Ri Sol-ju, looked around the Yanggakdo football stadium. He was accompanied by Cho Jong-il and the senior officials of the party and army and officials of institutions concerned. The 30,000-plus seat Yanggakdo football stadium was built in good harmony with the beautiful scenery of Yanggak Island in May 1989 under the wise guidance of the fatherly Kim Jong-il. Marshal Kim Jong-un came out to the Yanggakdo football stadium with a plan to renovate the stadium, warmly associated with the immortal leadership exploits of the great leaders Kim Il-sung and Kim Jong-il, in keeping with the demand of the new century, and dropped in at the room dedicated to the history of the stadium. He impressively recalled the immortal exploits performed by President Kim Il-sung and Kim Jong-il for the strengthening and development of Juche-based physical culture and sports, saying they had participated in the inaugural ceremony of the stadium. Going around different places of the stadium, Marshal Kim Jong-un indicated specific tasks and ways to reconstruct it, giving specific orientation and ways to rebuild the stadium anew. He organized a powerful building force to facelift the stadium at an early date. He said developing physical culture and sports is an important work to strengthen the national power in every way, demonstrate the indomitable spirit and dignity of Sungun Korea all over the world, and encourage the army and people to forcefully promote the building of a prosperous socialist nation with great national pride and honor. He expressed the belief that the institutions concerned would wonderfully rebuild the Yanggakdo football stadium into a perfect exclusive football stadium.
Respected Marshal Kim Jong-un sent a letter of thanks to the officials, working people, and officers and soldiers of the Korean People's Army, who showed all sincerity in excellently building the park of the plaza of Kumsusan Palace of the Sun. The meeting for conveying his letter of thanks was held at the plaza of the palace on April the 30th. Present there were Kim Young-nam, Park Bong-ju, Choi Ryong-hae, and other senior officials of the party, state and army, officials of the party and armed forces institutions, the cabinet, commissions, ministries, national agencies, and provincial party and government organs, service persons of the Korean People's Army and the Korean People's Internal Security Forces, and working people from different places. Kim Young-nam conveyed a letter of thanks of Marshal Kim Jong-un. The letter of thanks saw the park of the plaza of Kumsusan Palace of the Sun is a great flower garden of the leader's immortality, produced by the noble moral obligation of the Korean people and service persons of the People's Army for great President Kim Il-sung and Kim Jong-il, and the park of the people provided under the warm love of our party for the people, and continued. Great President Kim Il-sung and Kim Jong-il were uncommon patriots and fathers of the people, who opening the arduous and trying road of the Juche Revolution in the van, decorate the whole causes of their noble revolutionary language with ardent love and ennobling devotion for the country and people. The Kumsusan Palace of the Sun is an eternal mental mainstay of the army and people, the banner leading the victorious advance of the Juche Revolution, and the symbol of the dignity of the Korean nation. The entire officials, working people, and service persons of the People's Army should defend the Kumsusan Palace of the Sun and the Party Central Committee at the risk of their lives, and valorously struggle for the final victory, holding high the banner of Kim Il-sungism, Kim Jong-ilism under the leadership of the party, the letter of thanks stressed. Then speeches were made to express firm determination to resolutely defend the Kumsusan palace of the sun, carry through the party's line on building the economy and nuclear force simultaneously, and thus win the final victory in the building of a prosperous socialist nation and the total confrontation with the United States. The letter pledged to Marshal Kim Jong-un was adopted at the meeting. Foreign mass media praised the immortal exploits of the great leader President Kim Il-sung on the occasion of the Day of the Sun, his birth anniversary. The Canadian newspaper TML Daily number 49, the domestic and international channels of the broadcasting service, and 7 national language broadcasting channels of Guinea, the Editorial Guinean television and state radio reported the immortal exploits of President Kim Il-sung, who made a great contribution to the Korean Revolution and independent cause of humankind under the different titles, including on the occasion of the 101st birth anniversary of Kim Il-sung, the great leader of the Korean people. Japan-Korea Friendship meeting for celebrating the Day of the Sun was recently held in Tokyo. Present there were personages of the Japanese Committee for supporting the independent and peaceful reunification of Korea and other organizations for friendship and solidarity with the Korean people and Juche Idea study organizations and other people. Invited there were the director of the International and Reunification Department of the Central Standing Committee and other officials of the General Association of Korean Residents in Japan. At the meeting, the reporter and speakers praised that great President Kim Il-sung put an end to the Japanese imperialist colonial rule and achieved national liberation by leading the anti-Japanese revolutionary struggle to victory. Internet home pages of foreign organizations and regional organizations feature the Day of the Sun with articles illustrated with portraits of smiling great leader Kim Il-sung and his photos. The Romanian Workers' Association, the Society for the Promotion of the Relations between Austria and the DPRK, the France-Korea Friendship Association, the Italy DPRK Association for Friendship and Solidarity, the Ukraine Sovietsky Center, and the International Alliance of Societies for the Study of the Juche Idea and Single Policy in Eastern European and Central Asian regions posted articles praising the sacred revolutionary life and emotional exploits of President Kim Il-sung under different titles including The Struggle of Leader of the Korean People, Legendary Life of President Kim Il-sung, and The Eternal Son of Juche. The national seminar on the line on building the economy and nuclear force simultaneously was held at the Central Youth Hall in Pyongyang on April the 30th. Present there were Kim Gi-nam, Secretary of the Central Committee of the Workers' Party of Korea, officials concerned, officials of the Central and Pyongyang City Party and administrative institutions, working people's organizations, officials of institutions of science, education, literature and arts, the press, revolutionary relics preservation, and party officials training institutions. Yoon Woo-chol, editor-in-chief of the Rodong Sinmun, Son Sung-hoon, vice premier of the cabinet, and other speakers read the treatises deeply explaining and proving the originality, scientific accuracy, truthfulness, and vitality of the line on building the economy and nuclear force simultaneously advanced at the March 2014 plenary meeting of the Central Committee of the Workers' Party of Korea. Their treatises were titled The Line on Building the Economy and Nuclear Force Simultaneously is a new strategic line representing the demand of the present situation and the development of the revolution. It is the most urgent task arising before us at present to accelerate the building of an economic giant by concentrating all efforts and others. A meeting to convey the letter of thanks of the Central Committee of the Workers' Party of Korea to the crew of trading cargo ship Jin-myung was held on April the 30th. Present there were officials of the Ministry of Foreign Trade and the crew of the ship. At the meeting, the letter of thanks of the Central Committee of the Workers' Party of Korea was conveyed to the crew of the ship who have successfully ensured the 100th transport. The letter noted that the crew of the ship kept the portraits of the great leaders Kim Il-sung and Kim Jong-il safely and solemnly even in raging waves, and greatly contributed to the acceleration of the building of a thriving socialist nation as they overfulfilled the freight transport plan every year. Speeches were made, and the resolution was adopted at the meeting. The 28th National Scientific and Technological Festival closed at the Three Revolution Exhibition House in Pyongyang on April the 30th. The festival opened on April 23rd, and presented to it were hundreds of items of scientific research and technical innovation successes selected in the ministries, national agencies, Pyongyang, and local scientific and technological festivals. Participants in the festival introduced valuable materials of scientific and technological successes, which can promote the truth orientation, mobilization, and informationization of the national economy, and develop the technologies of agriculture, light industry, and different other fields onto a high level, and exchanged experiences accumulated in the course of introducing them into production. Present at the closing ceremony were Premier of the Cabinet Park Bong-ju, officials concerned, scientists, technicians, three revolution team members, and working people. The result of general examination was made public, and trophy banners and cups, medals, certificates and citations, and relevant prizes were awarded to the highly estimated institutions and participants. Mangyongdae Pride Sports Games closed at the basketball gymnasium in Cheongcheon Street, Pyongyang, on April the 30th. It opened on April the 2nd on the occasion of the Day of the Sun, the birth anniversary of the great leader Kim Il-sung. Present at the closing ceremony were officials concerned and sportspersons. Cups and medals were awarded to the teams and players who made excellent results in football and basketball games. The Tetan Daehung mine was commissioned on Tuesday. The mine will contribute to the promotion of the economic construction and improvement of the people's living. Officials concerned and employees of the mine were present at the commissioning ceremony. DPRK acrobats Jong-un and Kim Hye-sung bagged gold medals at 8th Asian Acrobatic Championships. The championships held in Kazakhstan between April 27th and 29th were participated in by more than 60 men and women stars of many countries and regions, including the DPRK, China, Kazakhstan, and Iran. In the women's two-member formation, Jong-un and Kim Hye-sung conducted difficult technical movements in succession and came first. Kim Chul-sung and Kim Yu-kyung received the silver medals in the mixed two-member formation. The North Korea Provincial Committee of the Korea-Mongolia Friendship Association was inaugurated in Sariwon on Tuesday. Present at the inaugural ceremony were officials concerned and Badrahin Ganbaldi, Mongolian ambassador extraordinary and plenipotentiary to the DPRK, and his embassy staff members. The chairman, vice chairman, and members of the provincial committee were elected and speeches made. The speakers expressed their readiness to contribute to further strengthening and development of the friendly and cooperative relations between Korea and Mongolia to meet the expectations of the supreme leaders of the two countries. After the ceremony, the participants looked round the third-class street of Sariwon city. Mansur Taboshi, Ambassador Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary of the Islamic Republic of Iran to DPRK, gave a reception at his embassy on Tuesday on the occasion of the Day of the Sun. Present there on invitation were Wang Hyung-suk, Vice President of the Presidium of the Supreme People's Assembly of the DPRK, and officials concerned. Present there were staff members of the Iranian embassy. Speakers at the reception warmly praised the immortal revolutionary life of President Kim Il-sung, a great man praised by the world, saying he led the revolutionary struggle to victory, believing in the people and relying on their strength. The daily Rodong Shinmun on May the 1st ran an editorial under the title, "Let us fully display the heroic spirit of the working people of the Sungun era in the building of a prosperous nation." And that's the end of the news read by Kim Hyun-ok and Choi Jong-nam. This is Voice of Korea.
You enjoy your covers. The leader will always be with us. Jong-il covers the general will be modeled as the sun. Now, you enjoy your meal covers footsteps. by the workers of Wagon. All the working people in the Democratic People's Republic of Korea greet May Day, the Day of the Workers of the whole world, with a great pride. The same are the workers of the Wagon Mission Complex in Sinuishi, North Pyongan Province. They are concentrating efforts on the production of ordered equipment that are needed in different sectors of the national economy. Park Won-chul, chief engineer of the complex, has this to say.
우리 낙원 노동계급은 신부양 영웅을 비롯한 10명 당원들의 몫이 깃들어있는
The workers of our complex regard it as the greatest pride to work at the factory associated with the soul of the 10 party members, including heroine Shin Po-hyang. What kind of people are those 10 party members the workers of the complex regard as mothers? During the Fatherland Liberation War against the invasion of the US imperialists in the past 1980s, they did not stop wartime production, though everything was devastated by barbaric bombing of the US imperialist air pirates. During the post-war reconstruction, when everything was insufficient, and during the socialist construction afterwards too, they fully displayed a revolutionary spirit of self-reliance and produced ordered equipment keenly necessary in different sectors of the national economy. The 10 party members of Wagon played a pivotal role in such efforts. Their noble spirit and working manner have been carried forward, and the Wagon Mission Complex today has turned into a railway mission manufacturer. The workers of the complex are producing hydraulic excavator and different other types of excavators and equipment demanding high technology, such as CNC plasma cutter. Ryusan-young, head of the Shin Po-hyang cast iron workshop, has this to say.
자체 신고학 기술로 또 어떤 제식 설비도 다 만들어냈을 이제 됐다는.
We have the pride that we can make any latest equipment with our own strength and technology, and the pride of running in the van of the times, like the 10 party members. Now the workers of the complex are working hard to hit a higher target they have set. Chief Engineer Park Won-chul says.
기업체에서는 유압식 굴착기를 세계적 수준으로 끌어올리기 위한 사업을 비롯하여
We will promote the modernization of the production processes, including the development of the hydraulic excavator on the world advanced level, as well as the production of ordered equipment. So far, you've been listening to a report under the title Pride of Workers of Wagon. This is Voice of Korea. Please enjoy your female Shaolin Pangcheng. Carry you forward for economic development and nuclear arms build-up. Here is the unforgettable song, May of Victory, written in Juche 36 or 1947. We are proud working people, masters of victory, creating a new century. We are the ones under the flag of freedom. Our cry of unity shakes the world. Comrades, let us firmly unite in this spirit and victoriously carry out the national economic plan. Here is the chorus, International.
account of Korea. Now the entire Korean army and people swear revenge upon the US imperialists and the South Korean puppets for the criminal attempt to hurt the dignity of our supreme leadership. In addition to the slander of our supreme dignity, the enemy disclosed an attempt to mount precision missile attacks on the monuments for the immortality and praise of the leaders respectfully built in major cities of Korea. This drove the workers and farmers into fury, and the fury made them grasp their hammers and sickles more tightly. War veterans, youth and students, and even school children now revenge crying, "Give us arms." Even women who are so simply honest all the time are infuriated at the enemy upon hearing the statement of the Supreme Commander of the Korean People's Army. They turn out into the streets and villages with trembling fists, calling for death to the beast-like enemy.
성명에도 지적된 것처럼 놈들의 이번 훈련의 진짜 목적은 다름 아닌 우리 혁명의 시고스니브를 노린 것이었습니다.
As was mentioned in the statement, the real purpose of the enemy exercises was to attack the supreme leadership of the Korean Revolution, the supreme headquarters of the Korean Revolution, the symbol of victory and glory of our revolution, hope and life of our service.
부산 3대 장군의 동상을 감히 어째보겠다고 망발을 질체되는 미제와 남조선 괴뢰들이야말로 우리와
The US imperialists and the South Korean puppets daring to destroy the bronze statues of the great persons of Mount Baekdu are a sworn enemy.
또다시 우리 최고전함을 헐뜯고 감히 흉의 수립을 어째보겠다고 묵신할 때는 미제와 남조선 괴뢰
The US imperialists and the South Korean traitors defamed our supreme dignity and tried to do harm to the headquarters of the revolution. I am firmly determined to smash them to the last man, wherever they are.
Then why are the Korean army and people so resented, and why do they rise up in the sacred struggle of retaliation? It is because the US imperialists and the South Korean puppets slander the dignity of the supreme leadership, their life and soul. The relations between the Korean people and the generalissimos Kim Il-sung and Kim Jong-il are the relations of kinship between father and children, rather than the relations between the leader and people. Korean people keep deep in their hearts the great generalissimos who provided them with genuine life and happiness as the outline of their destiny and the whole of their life. Therefore, the Korean army and people always visit the bronze statues of the great generalissimos and are greatly encouraged by their sun-like images, remaining intensely loyal to them. Bronze statues, mosaic murals, and pictures of the generalissimos in different places of the country are a crystallization of ardent reverence and intense loyalty of the army and people for them, and treasure of national value of Sungun career. That is why the Korean army and people are so indignant at the inhuman criminal attempt of the US imperialists and the South Korean traitors to harm the dignity of the supreme leadership dearer than their lives. Now that the Korean armistice agreement became a mere scrap of paper and a touch-and-go situation has been created on the Korean peninsula due to nuclear war movements of the enemy, their reckless attempt to mount missile attacks on the dignity of our supreme leadership are precisely a provocation against us. Under the condition that our supreme dignity and lives will gravely insulted and threatened, the Korean army and people have no other choice. The Korean army and people will totally exterminate the enemy who dare to slander the supreme dignity of Sungun Korea with a war method, a striking method of our style, lest there should be anyone even to sign an instrument of surrender and build a prospering socialist state of Juche on this land. You've been listening to an account under the title, Bitter Resentment of Korea. This is Voice of Korea.
Here is a mixed chorus. The arms of Sungun will not show mercy.
listeners. With this, we conclude the English language service of Voice of Korea from the Democratic People's Republic of Korea. Voice of Korea presents its English language service for Southeast Asia between 5 and 6 hours UTC on 13,650 kHz and 15,105 kHz, and between 10 and 11 hours UTC on 11,735 kHz and 13,650 kHz. For Middle East and North Africa, between 16 and 17 hours UTC on 9,890 kHz and 11,645 kHz, and between 19 and 20 hours UTC on 9,875 kHz and 11,635 kHz. For Southern Africa, between 19 and 20 hours UTC on 7,210 kHz and 11,910 kHz. And for Central and South Americas, between 4 and 5 hours UTC on 11,735 kHz, 13,760 kHz, and 15,180 kHz, and between 10 and 11 hours UTC on 11,710 kHz and 15,180 kHz. Goodbye, this is Pyongyang.